Hey everyone, it's Alyssa. Welcome back to my channel, and in today's video I am going to be doing a in-depth review on the Samsung Z Flip 6. If you guys haven't watched the unboxing, I recommend going and watching that first and then coming over here to watch this video. I don't typically make tech review videos, but my TikTok on this device went viral and I've been getting so many questions about this device. I figured I would make a full in-depth review of this device. I've had it for almost 3 weeks now, and I have a list of all of my pros and all of my cons, and I'm going to be as honest as possible. And this is coming from someone who has had multiple Samsung devices in my life and also multiple iPhones. I feel like I can kind of compare Apple and Samsung pretty well because I've had so many devices in different brands. And I feel like I can tell you guys the differences between the two pretty well. I'm getting a random phone call right now, so here's to show you guys what it looks like when you get a phone call from the cover screen. Just to show you guys, since there's an example to show you. But anyway, I am not pro iPhone over Samsung. I don't choose one or the other. I like iPhones and Androids for different reasons. And right now I have an Android because I really love my phone, but I am just going to go ahead and flip this girly open, and I'm gonna pull up my notes app where I made a long list of all of my pros and cons about this device, and I'm just gonna go over it and show you guys some clips and everything talking about what I am talking about. So first I'm gonna go over all of the pros about this device. So the first pro is the battery life. Had a lot of people ask me about the battery life. I know that was a huge issue with the previous Z Flips, is that the battery was pretty horrible, and I can attest to that. I had the Z Flip 3 and 4, or the original one. I don't know which ones I had, and they were all really bad when it came to the battery life. Even my S21 is really bad with the battery life. I was really hoping with the Z Flip 6 that the battery wouldn't be bad, and honestly, it's pretty comparable to my iPhone 13 Pro Max that I had. I can get about 14 hours, like max, of screen time before I need to charge it. My typical average screen time every single day is about 7 to 8 hours. That's how much I use my phone every single day, but I have gotten to the point where I've done a full 14 hours and my phone gets to like 8% and then I have to plug it back in. That's pretty great battery. That's actually a really great battery. And I am well aware that batteries get worse over time, but that doesn't just happen in Androids, that happens in batteries in every single phone. So I feel like it's not really fair to say that the battery is gonna get worse, because I'm well aware of that. Batteries do get worse over time. That's just kind of how they work. But currently, right now, I have to say the battery life on my phone is pretty amazing. I do have to say I do have a couple of settings implemented onto my phone to make the best battery life possible. Because I do social media as a job, I feel like I am on my phone quite a bit and I'm doing a lot of things. So I do keep my phone on power saving mode. I know a lot of people would not want that, but I feel like that is the biggest reason why my battery is so great, is because I have power saving mode on. So power saving mode turns your screen from 120 hertz to 60 hertz. So if you want the fastest screen possible, power saving mode would not be the option for you. I turn on power saving mode. I also turn on adaptive brightness, or an adaptive screen. So depending on what time of day it is or what kind of lighting you have in the room, your phone will dim and brighten to your surroundings. So that really helps with battery life. And also I keep a warm screen on 24/7 because I have chronic migraines. So I like to keep my phone screen really warm, and that helps the battery as well. When the phone is not on power saving mode and I'm using the 120 hertz screen, it's super fast. It looks great, honestly. I love how fast and quick it is, but the 60 hertz screen is not too much of a difference for me, and it saves so much battery life that I really don't feel like I'm missing out on anything. There's also an option that you can add on your phone as well, which I'll show on the screen. It's a little widget that I have, which is called storage and optimization. And if you clean up your memory every once in a while, it also helps save your battery life. And also make sure to close out of your apps after you use them, because you don't want your apps running in the background also taking up a lot of your battery life. Next pro of this device is that obviously it is very small and compact when you close it, and that is one of the biggest pros for me. I really like having a small phone. I have the 13 Pro Max, and that phone just got to be a bit too heavy for me when I started having my hand disability issues. So this phone is really nice to hold, especially if you have smaller hands. I do use a pop socket as well, so that helps me a lot, but I can flip it open and closed very easily with one hand. I have absolutely no issues doing it. I do have to say, sometimes it's a little awkward trying to reach up to the top because the phone is very long. It's not very wide, but it is very tall, and the placement of the power buttons is a little awkward sometimes, but I've gotten used to it over time, and it's honestly not too big of a deal. Next pro is that I absolutely love the camera. I know a lot of people hate on Android cameras, and I will discuss that later when I talk about the cons, but I absolutely love this back camera right here, and I love being able to film and see myself from the cover screen. It is an absolute game changer, especially if you are a content creator, because being able to see yourself from the back screen when you're filming on a phone is incredible. Like, I can do it right now on my fancy $600 camera, but being able to do it on a phone that's also super expensive is a really cool perk. You can film like you're having like a camcorder, which is really cool. So right now I can put it on the cover screen and you guys can see what I am seeing right now. And I can literally just walk around also filming, and people can also see what I'm doing. Like, if I have the cover screen on, they can see that I'm filming them. They can see what they look like. If I'm holding the camera to like take a video or photo of somebody, they can see what they look like and pose the way that they want to, or just if you want to take a selfie, like, you can see perfectly, and you can take the highest quality selfies ever because you don't have to use the front screen to take selfies. You can just use your back screen to take selfies. So all of my selfies have been taken with the 50 megapixel camera back here, and they have came out so high quality and clear. They look just like the photos that I take from my really expensive camera. From the research that I've done, and I could be wrong, but the camera on this phone has higher megapixels than the iPhone 15 does. So I feel like saying that these phones have really bad cameras is just technically not true. The 50 megapixel camera, and I believe there's an ultra wide camera as well, they both work really well in my opinion. Super high quality. I mean, they come out just as good as my expensive camera. So I honestly love everything about this back camera. I'll talk about the front camera in my cons because I do have cons about the front one, but when it comes to filming on this phone, filming content, I have never filmed this much content and taken so many pictures with my old phone, and I've been non-stop taking pictures and photos with this phone because I just enjoy it so much. My next con is I love that I can use all of my apps from the cover screen. So if you download the Good Lock app, you can literally use any app that you want on the cover screen. You don't even have to open your phone to do most things. There are some things you have to open your phone for. With the Good Lock launcher, I can put any app that I want to on the front screen. So if I get a quick text, instead of having to open up my phone, I can just text them back really quick. I can sit here and scroll on TikTok. You can have Google Maps. You can have a game. I've literally played Genshin from the cover screen. My boyfriend has played RuneScape from the cover screen. Spotify. I can turn my lights for my house on and off. And that also really helps save so much battery because you don't have to keep turning your phone all the way on to answer simple text messages or phone calls. You can do everything from the cover screen. And I feel like that is what's been saving my battery a lot too, because I really don't open my phone unless I'm scrolling on social media, which I don't really do too much nowadays. Another pro is I absolutely love that I can just fold my phone like this and set it on the desk or set it somewhere and watch a video. I don't know why I love it so much. When I'm getting ready for work in the mornings, putting my makeup on, I will set my phone on my vanity just like this and I will watch a YouTube video. And the audio speakers are down here at the bottom, so when it's folded, the speakers are really coming out and you can hear it really well too. And then you can watch the video from this top screen here, or you could turn it to the side if you want to and put it like this. The next pro is that I absolutely love the editing features that are built into the system when it comes to editing photos and videos. I honestly really liked Apple's too, but I feel like Samsung and Androids in general have a lot more options when it comes to customization with photo editing. I feel like a lot of stuff on Apple you have to pay for, like apps and stuff, but with Android it's already built into their just original editing system. So you can very easily like remove stuff from photos that you don't want instead of having to go into a third-party app and remove something from the background. You can do it all from your phone. They have other AI features as well. I personally do not support AI, especially when it comes to art AI. I feel like it is just not a good thing. So I don't really implement the AI stuff myself just because I am not in support of that at all. But they do have AI where you can take a picture of yourself and it turns you into like an AI cartoon character, which I feel like some people would think that's pretty cool too. All right, this is going to be the biggest pro for me, and I feel like this is a big pro for a lot of people. The customization on Samsung phones are just top tier. I don't know about the other Androids out there because I never had those, but you can customize literally every little thing on a Samsung phone, and it's so easy. You don't have to make shortcuts for apps. I know with new iOS 18, apparently you can make themes and stuff now on iPhone when it comes out next month, which good for them that they finally decided to do that. But for a long time on Samsungs, you can just go to the Galaxy store, choose any theme you want, purchase it or find a free one, click apply, and it changes your entire phone itself. All you have to do is click a couple buttons and your entire phone is customized. You don't have to individually take hours editing and customizing every single app on your phone, which I think is incredible. You can also change the fonts on your phone. So I have a different font on my phone that I absolutely love. It's very like girly pop. It's very cute. I will put on the screen what font that I use because I get a lot of questions about that. You could change the theme. You can change the way your text messages look, the way your keyboards look. You can change the way your emojis look. Every little thing on this phone, guys, there's an app that you can customize it. Like you really can truly customize everything on this phone, and it's so cool. I also wanted to go ahead and talk about the difference between Google Messenger and Samsung Messenger. So when I was talking in my TikTok and in my last video, I was not aware that you could download Samsung Messenger from the Google Play Store. So when you first get the Samsung Z Flip 6, and I believe all of the other new Samsung phones, they automatically are installed with Google Messenger, which is the default texting app on your phone. So that is what you are sending all of your text messages with, and that supports RCS messaging, which is similar to iMessage. And overall, it's just a better texting app to use, but unfortunately, you cannot use your themes on Google Messenger. So for example, with my Kuromi theme, it doesn't change the way Google Messenger works. It only changes my keyboard. Unless another person is an Android user, you can change the way your chat rooms look with other Android users, but with iPhone users, there's pretty much no customization that you can do within your texting chat bubble. But starting next month with iOS 18, iPhone users and Android users are going to be able to use RCS messaging together, which means those issues are probably going to go away. And RCS messaging is literally just like iMessage. You can see when the person reads your text, you can see when they're typing, you can see animations when they say things, the emojis are animated, GIFs, videos, pictures, they all send just like iMessage. It's just called RCS messaging. So you can download Samsung Messages back from the Google Play Store, but Samsung Messenger does not support RCS messaging. So if you're wanting to text iPhone users and other Android users in a more smooth way, you're not gonna be able to. You have to send SMS messages. So I'm continuing and using Google Messenger even though the chats can't be changed because I want the most smooth texting as possible considering my boyfriend, my family, and all of my friends have iPhones. I'm the only one with an Android, so I want everything to be as smooth as possible. So I wanted to go ahead and real quick compare some things between Samsung and iPhones. So I've seen a lot of comments from you guys asking like, is there some type of like find my phone or find my friends on the Samsung? And yes, there is. There is an app that comes with your device and you just turn it on and it pings your phone just like iPhones do. It can ping your watch. It connects all of your devices into one app and it shares the location of every single Samsung device that you have in the app, just like the Find My iPhone. It's very similar. And then also, if you want to do location sharing with your friends or family, all you have to do is use Google Maps. When you go into Google Maps, you just click your profile picture in the corner, you click location sharing, and then you just add whoever you want, and then they have to request and add you back, and then you can see their location all the time. You can see when they're driving. You can even see the battery on their phone. So I use my location sharing through Google Maps, and it's just like Find My Friends. So you can also have iPhone emojis on a Samsung phone if that's something that bothers you. I personally like the way the Samsung emojis look more than the iPhone ones. I think they're more detailed. I like that they're animated. I think they look really cute. But for some reason, a lot of people do not like Samsung or Android emojis, even though they look pretty similar. So you can download apps on your phone that change your keyboard to have iPhone emojis. So if that is really such a big deal to you, I don't really get why it would be, but if emojis are that big of a deal to you that you wouldn't get an Android, you can download iPhone keyboards onto your phone. For video calling, that's the biggest issue I've had when it comes to talking to people with iPhones is like you can't FaceTime. They can send you a FaceTime link, but if you are a person who just kind of spontaneously likes to FaceTime your friends and just say hi, it's kind of awkward just to text them and be like, hey, send me a FaceTime link. Like, it's just kind of weird. So I use WhatsApp with all of my friends to video chat, which I know in a lot of other countries, that's like the top texting app is WhatsApp. I just do video calls or similar FaceTime calls on WhatsApp. And you could use Google Meet, but I don't like the way Google Meet is, so I don't use that. Google Pay and Samsung Pay is just like Apple Pay. Most places take at least Google Pay. So I've had no issues using my Samsung or my Google Wallet on my phone. I just swipe up on my phone and the card reader pops up and I can very easily pay with my phone, just like I did with Apple Pay. I've had no issues with that. I love Android radio on my car more than I like Apple radio. I just like how the Android radio is really customized. Lastly, I want to talk about, before we get to the cons, I told you guys I'm going to be talking a lot. I have had no issues with my screen bubbling, my phone creaking when I bend it. I have had no screen issues, knock on wood, but I've had no cosmetic issues with my phone. I have noticed that the crease is a little bit more visible than before, but mainly only in light like this. Like you could see it now because the sun is shining on it. But when I don't have light shining directly above me, like a really strong light, you cannot see the crease at all. And you can barely even feel it either. Like you can a little bit, but not nearly like the old phones at all. I've had no issues. Honestly, I'm surprised because it's perfect. It's great. Okay, so that was all of my pros and everything that I wanted to compare. And now we're going to get to what I'm sure a lot of people are watching this video for, is the cons. And like I said, I'm gonna be as honest as possible. So the first con is the phone gets very hot when you are outside, when you are gaming, when it is charging. It's so hot that it almost gets to the point where it feels like it's burning you. So they did put a vapor chamber in this phone, but they only put it on one side of the phone. So the top half of the phone gets so hot. Like if I'm charging my phone in the car when I'm using Android radio, the top half of my phone is burning. If I'm outside in the sun or my phone's in my pocket while I'm outside, the phone gets super hot. And when I am playing games like Genshin, it is ridiculously hot. Like I have never had a phone get this hot before, and it's really weird because it's only the top half, mainly because I'm assuming the vapor chamber is down here. I don't know, but the top half of the phone does get very hot. So that is a pretty big con, I feel like. The next con that I know a lot of people really don't like is that all of these third-party apps are just not optimized for Androids. So a lot of people have issues with apps taking really poor quality photos and videos and apps just being really glitchy and weird. And I do have to say that is definitely something that I have been experiencing. Way less than my old Samsung, so I feel like it is getting better. TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat decreased the quality of my camera so much where it just looks terrible, but it doesn't look that way in my camera roll. Apple has paid off all of these third-party apps to basically optimize their apps only for iPhones, and Apple got sued for that. So that's why they're implementing all of these new things to make it easier for iPhones and Androids to be compatible, because Apple literally got sued for paying off these applications to make their phones look better. Guys, like, this is all Apple's fault. Like, all of this is Apple's fault. It's not the phone, it's not the Android's fault, it's Apple. These apps are not optimized for Androids. Like, it's just the unfortunate fact. I do feel like like I said, it's getting better, but there are some weird glitchy things that I have noticed. Instagram is the worst. If I try to put Instagram in dark mode, it gets all glitchy and doesn't work. The camera glitches a lot on Instagram, and overall Instagram, it looks the worst on my phone, especially when I'm taking like stories and stuff like that. I don't know, it's really weird. TikTok has been a little weird when it comes to sizing the videos that I film. If I upload a video from my camera roll, even if it's sized correctly, I feel like TikTok like condenses the video a lot and makes it look like really poor quality. It's just the app's fault, it's not the phone. Next con is that texting with iPhone users is sometimes complicated. I know a lot of people tried to tell me that you need to turn off iMessage on your phone and on your iPad, and I did. So I'm not too sure why I'm having that issue. I cannot make a group message with my two friends who have iPhones. We have to use WhatsApp. I've tried texting them by myself. I've tried making another group message myself to text them. They don't get it. They've tried making a group message by themselves with me in it, and I'm not getting their texts. So something is happening there where I am not getting group messages. But my other group message that I have with my other friends, theirs work fine. I'm not sure if it's a setting that's wrong on their end, but I've had issues getting text messages from group messages. I have not had issues getting text messages personally from people with iPhones. I haven't had issues at all with that, honestly. Also, when you get a video texted to you from someone, it is the worst quality you'll probably ever see in your life. And if I have an example of it, I will show you guys on the screen. But I have to send and receive videos from like my boyfriend, for example. We have to send them through WhatsApp because I cannot see the videos that he sends me. It like compresses it so much where it's so little and blurry, and the video's like this big, and I can't see it or hear it or anything. Can't really text videos. Like, pictures send perfect. You can't text videos with iPhone users. And I find that very strange, and I don't know why that's a thing. The next con is that the front camera is a pretty poor quality front camera. I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world, and honestly, a lot of my selfies don't look that bad. But if you're in low light, you're going to look like you are filming from jail. Like, it looks so bad. The front camera on this phone is a 10 megapixel camera. I believe the ones on iPhones are 12 megapixel. Even though the back camera is better on this phone compared to iPhones, the front camera on the iPhones are better. So I wish they would have upgraded the front camera to a 12 megapixel as well, because I always film from my cover screen with my back camera because I really do not like how the front camera looks. But it honestly is not that big of a deal to me because, I mean, I do take a lot of pictures, but not enough of myself to really care that much. The next con is that I don't like that the phone fingerprint sensor is on the lock screen button. I feel like if you're just trying to unlock your phone and you do it with your thumb, it automatically opens your phone. And sometimes I don't want to unlock my phone if I'm just trying to see what the time is. So I do have double tap on, where I could double tap the screen and you can see what time it is and see my notifications and stuff. But sometimes I forget, and then I go to just quickly unlock my phone and it opens up my phone. I don't really like that. I mean, obviously I could, you know, unlock my phone with another finger or something. And I know that there is face recognition to unlock your phone as well, but the face unlocking doesn't work that great. I wish it was like my S21 where you can just unlock your front screen with your fingerprint on the front screen. Like, I can just unlock right here. I really liked that. I wish this phone implemented that too, but it just implements unlocking with your face or with the side button, which I'm not a huge fan of. This next thing is a con because I can't figure out the setting to use. So if anybody could help me, that would be awesome. Maybe somebody who's had Androids for longer, but so I found, it took me forever, but I did find how to have your notifications pop up on your screen, because I was getting texts and I was getting calls and all these things, but I was not seeing them on my home screen here. I was just seeing my wallpaper, and I was only seeing the notifications up here at the top once I unlocked my phone. So I was like, I spent forever trying to figure out how to fix that, and I did figure out how to do that. So now my notifications do pop up on my lock screen. So if I get a text and I don't see it and I just quickly unlock my phone, I can read the text from the home screen, which is like an iPhone. I can't figure out how to make the screen light up when I get a text message, and I turned off power saving mode to see if that was the issue, and it still didn't work. So when I get a text message, I feel the vibration and it'll show that I got a text once I unlock my phone, but it won't light the screen up and read the text when I get it, if that makes sense. So if anybody knows how to fix that, that would be great, because I really sometimes do just not feel or hear my phone, and then I don't see that I got a text message until 2 hours later because my phone never like lit up to show me that I got a notification, which I feel like some people would be annoyed with too. So if anybody knows the answer to that, I would appreciate you. My next con, and this is just all personal, this phone is water resistant. It's not waterproof. I feel like for the price of this phone, this phone was like, what, $1,100? I feel like for the price of this phone, it should be waterproof. And I use my phone in the bath a lot. I love taking baths. It is my me time, self-care time, and I am very scared to hold this in the bathtub. So it is water resistant. So, I mean, it's not gonna die as soon as it hits water, but it's not waterproof. Really wish it was. Like, I genuinely am so scared. Like, I cracked my last iPhone by dropping it in the shower. Like, it vibrated and dropped into the shower, and it was just broken with the water going on it, and it didn't break. Like, the screen broke, but the water even getting into the cracked screen didn't mess anything up. And, you know, I know that that would not happen with this phone. All right, and the last con, I've been filming for like 45 minutes now, but my last con is this phone charges extremely slow. That's one thing I did like about my iPhone, really fast charging. Even my Samsung S21, that thing charges in like an hour. It's really quick. This thing charges extremely slow. And I looked up the reason for that, and online it said that this device has a split battery because it has two screens. So it has a battery for the front screen and it has a battery for the main screen. And the reason that it charges slower is because if it charges too quickly, the phone would get too hot and it could like explode. So it can't charge at the same speed as the S24, even though it has the same battery as the S24, because it's charging two different batteries at the same time. Could be wrong, but that is what I researched today and that is what it said. So I understand it, but also, usually I have to charge my phone at night, and when I'm just like doom scrolling in the middle of the night, I don't like having to just keep my phone on the charger while I'm scrolling. And usually with the iPhone, I could charge for like 30 minutes and it would be fine. But this one takes a really long time to charge to full percent, which is annoying. Those were my pros and cons. I feel like I was talking for quite a long time. My throat hurts. But I forgot to say this at the beginning. These are all just my personal pros and cons. Everybody is different when it comes to what they like and what they dislike. I have absolutely no inclination to switch back over to an iPhone. I haven't even had the thought of it. I love this phone. I love the Watch 7. I do want to get some Galaxy Buds eventually, but I just use my AirPods still. Love this phone. I mean, people ask about it every time they see it. They're like, oh my gosh, is that a flip phone? And then like you show them and people think it's like the coolest thing ever. Aesthetically, it's just so cool. It's just really fun. I feel like I miss the days where people just had different phones. Like when I was growing up, everybody had a different brand of phone. Flip phones, like Sidekicks, Razors, like everybody had a different cool and unique colorful phone. And nowadays, everybody just has an iPhone and just has the same phone. And I feel like it is really cool to just be able to have this unique device. Honestly, if people are making fun of you for having an Android, like these phones are just as expensive or more expensive than iPhones. So there's no reason you should be made fun of for that, because these phones are more expensive anyways. So I also went ahead and I posted on TikTok and I asked you guys to ask me some questions about the device. So I'm going to see if there's any questions I could answer for you guys real quick, and then I'll go ahead and end the video. I feel like I answered most of them already, but somebody asked about the ringtones on the phone. I feel like it's just similar to the ringtones that you can get on iPhones. You can change the different ringtones. You can download your own ringtone. There's apps that you can download that mimic iPhone ringtones, so if you like the sounds of those, I don't at all. I actually really enjoy the alarm sound that I have for my phone because it doesn't wake me up and like I don't jump awake with this like terrifying noise that I hear with the Apple one. I feel like the ringtones are not much different than iPhone. And then the last question I'll answer is if I've noticed any lagging. Like I said, I mean, I've had some issues with Instagram being really glitchy, but that is not the phone's fault, that is Instagram's fault. So the lagging or glitchiness per se that I have dealt with has purely just been because these apps are not optimized for Androids, and sometimes it gets a little glitchy, but like I said, that's not the phone's fault. I want you guys to keep in mind that all of these issues that people have with Androids are issues that are because of Apple. Like, it's not because of Android. I really recommend you guys be more open-minded about these really cool phones. I feel like you should let people have what they like. And I personally will not be switching to an iPhone anytime soon. I still have a giveaway going for this exact phone display. So if you want this case and this pop socket and this camera cover right here, I have a giveaway that ends on the 21st, which I will put in the description, and you can win these and I will contact you if you win. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.